Whew. What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? It is your boy Sanchez 405 coming at you. It's on the Warpath, y'all, and doing a live. Haven't done one of these in a long. Haven't done one in about 2 or 3 weeks, so I decided come on here, catch up with y'all, talk about a few things. Probably the most important thing that's going on out here today is, the fact. What's up, Juan Gotti? What's up, Jay Martell? How y'all feeling? How you feel? I'm doing good, Jay. Can't complain, man. Can't complain. If I was, nobody want to hear me either way. But I wanted to take a moment. I didn't think that my last video that I did would do justice enough for Joe Bugel, the longtime offensive line coach, two-time offensive line coach for the Burgundy and Gold, the innovator, the godfather, the creator of the Hogs. And, being where I'm almost 30, I had an opportunity to grow up when Joe Gibbs came back in 04, and one of the cool. What's up, Skins fan all day? Thanks for sharing out my live, brother. Appreciate you. And if y'all want to come on, chit chat and force me to put on the headphones, well, it wouldn't be forcing because I would love to do it and talk to you. Let me know. There's the what's up, Redskins diehard fan? How you doing? But Joe Bugel, y'all, I got to see him growing up in the DMV when I was 13, 14 years old. He would come on there with George Michael, Sonny Jurgensen, win, loss. He never was any different. I remember them getting blown out by the Giants and then blowing out the 49ers, and he was always even keel. They had some I got to listen to Rigo's podcasts today, and he had an opportunity to talk to some of these Hogs. Like, y'all think about what this man did from 81 to 89, and then from 04 to 09. He had several Pro Bowls. He's got one Hall of Famer. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Yes, I have heard about that, John. I have heard about that. I'll get into that in a little bit because I think that's a compound issue, and I'll get into it, and I'll articulate my opinion as best as I can. He had 5 All-Pro selections and right there, 9 Pro Bowls, including Chris Samuel's time with the Redskins and him working with Chris Samuels as well. So you had his original Hogs, Russ Grimm, of course, Jeff Bostic, Mark May, the guy we see on college football on ESPN all the time, right? And, you had Joe Jacoby, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Y'all think about this. That left side, that center to left side was there from start to finish with Bostic, and you had Grimm, and you had Jacoby there that won those Super Bowls. So, I didn't get to see him, but you got to be jealous of the folks that was able to see this offensive line in motion. But Joe Bugel, they said he could be as nice as a lamb. He could be a charmer, but in the film room and everything, he was a different. He was a different dude, and I thought it was kind of funny that Joe Jacoby was talking about how he hated sloppy play, and they were film studying for the next opponent, and Joe Bugel went off on them. He's talking about sloppy footwork and everything, but it wasn't the Redskins. It was the team that had played the team the week before. And he was yelling at Jacoby, saying, your footwork sloppy right there. And it wasn't him, but that showed you the passion that he had. But great dude to watch. And, he was Joe Gibbs' top lieutenant. You talk about Richie Pettibone and Don Bro and some of these guys, Rennie Simmons, who came back with him. But Joe Bugel was his top assistant, and he never superseded. According to Doc Walker, he never superseded Joe Gibbs. and they were a good match. So that man will be missed. Russ Grimm had an opportunity to get some of the players together that worked under Bugel 3 weeks before it passed away, and they just talked about how enriching that was for them. So Coach Joe Bugel, he will be missed, y'all, definitely. But that's sad, and there's some other things that have happened here as of late. Like John just brought up, it's the name change, and I'm going to tell y'all this, and this might not be the most popular opinion, but I think it's worth noting. I have said this, and I will say this to the end of time. I'm cool with a name change if this means that you change all these other sports teams' names, like you change the Kansas City Chiefs or Atlanta Braves. Not discrediting what it means to other people, but if it's really about a mascot and a name, and I've seen folks, Native Americans, that are like, my heritage is not a mascot. I'm on board with you. I hear you, and I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel about it. That's just my opinion. I think that's where we get lost in it. Do I think changing it right now would be a knee-jerk reaction? Absolutely. But these businesses are putting pressure on Dan Snyder. They're trying to, at least. And the only thing he's going to do is go with his wallet. That's what Dan does. So it's not going to be because he's a nice guy or he's had a change of heart. The man's owned the team for 20 years. They've been talking about this stuff since the 90s. He ain't going to change just because people want him or the atmosphere, the climate of what's going on here in the world today. Now, should he? That's not for me to judge. That's not for me to judge. I'm just telling you how I think. Of course, that's why you're here, right? You hear what I'm saying. But and I appreciate y'all. I didn't start out because it started out with Joe Bugel. I appreciate you all coming by. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure if you can, share it out. Don't forget, we're almost to 1,000, y'all. I don't really know where all this support has come from, but I appreciate it. I won't back down from that. I appreciate it. Everybody who's had me on collaborate. We collaborated with Juan Gotti before. Folks that follow me on Twitter. Those folks, appreciate them coming over here to this platform. And, on Instagram, I always post up the videos. So y'all can follow me there just as well. But like I said, once I hit 1,000, giving away a jersey. Whether you want to personalize, whether you want a player, still working out that detail. It might just be a player. I don't know. But I'm going to give out a jersey. So I would appreciate that if you guys share this out. And see, I can't put this cat on. I can't put this cat on because he's not going to focus on the road. You ain't going to focus on the road, are you, man? You going to focus on the road?
Brother. I'm good, brother. Yes, sir.
Shoot.
What's going on, my brother?
Hey, can't complain, buddy. Can't complain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Joe Bugel will be missed. Rest in peace, Joe Bugel. Yes, sir. I hear you talking about the name change and all that good stuff. I say go for it. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, what's the what's the lose? What we got to lose, man? We need a change in this country. Let's go ahead and go for that name change. If they don't want to change the name, like I said again, change the logo. That's the issue. Take the Indian off. Take the Indian off the helmet, off, whatever, and keep the name. Washington Redskins, change the logo. That solves everything.
I mean, because at the end of the day, and you probably feel the same way I do about it, if they change the name or not, that's still my team no matter what. Like, I grew up a Washington Bullets fan. They went to become the Wizards. Yeah. That still doesn't take anything away from what they've achieved.
Exactly. Our country is going through change right now. You know, as far as they tearing down all these racist monuments and stuff like that. Redskins. I mean, if people really don't know, Redskins was a racist team. So we had racist people in the organization way back then. So I say go for it. If the country going through it, might as well go through it.
Right.
Change the name, man. It is what it is. It's not that serious.
Yeah. I mean, you'll always have that air on it, and we want this team to be judged by what they do on the field, not what the name is, and all these people being obnoxious. Like I was watching Stephen A. and Max Kellerman before I got on here, and they were talking about. Well, Kellerman was like, Snyder will obediently change the name. And I said, who the hell are you to say somebody's going to be obedient towards changing the name? I said, the only thing he cares about is this bottom line. If his bottom line is affected, it's the same reason why he fired Bruce Allen. If the bottom line and seats were still full, Bruce Allen probably would still be there. Because he was, So I don't know what Kellerman's talking about, somebody being obedient and everything, but it is what it is. I'm gonna still support the team either which way because you know what? That's what we do. That's what like you always say, you gotta stay loyal. So I'm gonna stay loyal to the team.
That's right. I mean, I see you said we should be judged by what we do on the field as far as our name. Yeah, we're the Washington losers then. The Washington losers. Washington last place. The Washington confused organization. I got a list of names.
The Washington 3-time Super Bowl champions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, but yeah, man, I want to see, like I said, again, going back to the name change, go for it, man. I mean, if our country trying to, force it, they try to make a stand on something,
right?
I say go for it, man. If people got issues of the name, change the name, man. It's not that serious, man. Or the logo. It's either the logo or the name. Just one of them. I say keep the name, but change the logo.
I say go back to the arrow either way, but I've been on that train ever since I saw them throwbacks 20 years ago. So
me too, brother. I'm the same. Me too.
I got one on my desk. I got the helmet. Did I ever tell you the story about I found one of those mid-size helmets that was an arrow. I found it in one of these stores, and the box was beat up. It was $30. I said, I really don't want to pay $30 for this beat up box, but you know what? I said, I wanted that helmet and it sits at my desk at work. So hey man,
I like that. I like the throwback, man. I think that's one of the hardest uniforms we got.
And right there, that animated that one right there in the middle with the arrow. I said, I like the arrow. So yeah, but and we talked about the name, and hopefully we got football playing, and they talked about reducing the preseason to 2 games. Some people say that's 2 less wins for the Redskins this year. I say this is probably going to be the future of the preseason. This should have been the preseason a long time ago anyway. They should have moved 1 game to the regular season and make it 18 games and just play 2 preseason games because you know what you have. You spend 3 weeks you spend a month in training camp pretty much getting ready for it. And then, like you said last night, it's at a risk of getting hurt. So I think, I think this is the way it needs to go. The only thing that is the disadvantage to the Redskins, both of those games are on the road. And
that don't really mean nothing, man. On the road, preseason, that type of stuff, that don't really mean nothing. Like I said last night, if you train hard in training camp, you already know, like I said, everybody, if they come in ready to roll and train hard like they're supposed to, come in BSing, the coach is going to see, the elite is going to separate themselves from the BSers, that's on the team, and they are going to stand out. I mean, you only got to go through preseason, man, to see what somebody got. You go hard in training camp. That's why we have all these injuries, because they're not going hard in training camp.
That's why we lose in the first week of the season too, because they're not ready. They're not conditioned enough to go out there and win a ball game. What's up, Big Simple? Thanks for sharing the live out, pal. Appreciate it, man.
Big Simple, what's good, brother?
We lit. It's too early in the afternoon to be lit, man. But
all day. We lit all day.
I haven't had my after work nap yet, so I can't be lit.
Yeah, man. I'm happy. I'm happy about the 2 preseason games. This stuff is full of crap, man. Because just like I know every NFL fan, man, when we watch a preseason game, we just want the season to start, man. Like
yes,
this stuff is in the way, man. So I'm glad they took the 2 away. I say add it to the season, and do something with the playoffs to make football even a little bit more fun to watch.
Right. No, I'm right there with you, man. I can't, because you get to August and you're like, oh my gosh, it's more of an anxiety attack for me, because I'm like, God, you see somebody go down like Darius Geis in his first year preseason went down for nothing. So, yeah, Darius Geis got.
All that stuff is unnecessary, man.
Yeah, you're right. I agree, 100.
All unnecessary.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I look forward to it being a quick preseason. They said it might even reduce it just to 1 game. That's what the kicker of the Broncos was saying. But
I'll be happy with 1 game too. I sure would. Why not? I'd be satisfied with 1 game, bro. For real. 1 game.
Yeah. But I do, like I said, I think they're going to come out here more prepared. I didn't say this last night, but I got to thinking about it when we were talking about it. The fact that you take away, I know it's fun for the fans, but you take the distraction away from training camp and make it all about business. I think that's going to be better for them, and you're going to see a better product out there on the field because of it.
Yeah.
So, it might get you an opportunity for Antonio Brown to come out there and get normal.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Don't get me excited on this. It's about to get me excited, man.
Yeah, man. You never know. You never know. And you might have.
Go ahead.
Oh no, what are you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, I was about to. Like I told you, I was at work, so I'm about to go back in. I wanted to jump on, man. Like I
appreciate it.
Try to keep my word, So,
hey, man, I appreciate you. You know that all the time. I appreciate you coming on supporting me.
Yeah, man. I got it. I'm on my little 10-minute break or whatever. So, it is what it is.
Hey, well, I appreciate you stopping by, and don't work too hard, okay?
Oh, man. All it working. You know what I'm saying? All it working, man.
Hey, man, at you.
Hey, man, you know how we do, man. We get on break, man. We go break. We go far out.
There you go.
I shouldn't be driving around in my car, man, wasting gas, man. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Got to get back to the dungeon.
Hey, man, you got on here 30 minutes ago with me, so.
I know they're gonna be looking for me, but it's all good. I'm the boss, but it's all good. It's all good. When you the boss, you can do these things.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
Yeah. What's up? We got Red and Red up in here.
What's up, Red?
What's up? What's up? Cowboys fan got the support.
Yeah, man. I shared it out. I don't know if you saw it. I shared it out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I appreciate you and Big Simple. I appreciate you fellas. Bro, I don't care.
I'm gonna get back in here, bro. How long you gonna be on?
I don't know. However the Lord leads me.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Have a good stream, brother. I'm gonna watch the replay of it.
All right, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, man, y'all show this brother some love, man. I don't know who's in the chat right now, but I'm talking to y'all. Y'all show this brother some love. Get on this panel, man. Redskins fans, get on the goddamn panel. Y'all hear me? Get on the panel. You know, help this brother, man. Man can't do the live by himself. Show this brother some love, man. All right, man. You have a blessed one. Keep your head up. Don't let nobody see you do it, brother.
I appreciate it, Skins. Thanks, man.
Peace out, man.
All right. Let's see. And Skins fan all day. If y'all, I know y'all didn't came over here from him, but show him some love. Show him some love. Please appreciate him. Was on there last night with him. Fresh Montana, what's up, bro? I don't care what anyone says. Redskins gonna light it up this season on offense and defense. Hey, I hear you. I agree with you. I think it's a little bit offense is leaving a little bit to be desired, but they got the coaching staff to get them, I think, over the hump, to get them there up here. I don't think the physical capabilities of this team is not lacking, but I think you got to get up here. What's up, Yimmy? What's up? Yimmy, you know, if you want to come on here, if you got time, come on up here. There's the StreamYard. Y'all coming in here. But, yeah, like I was telling Skins earlier, I think this preseason, I think it's going to benefit. This is the future. This is going to be the future of the preseason with the with everybody, because you're going to see players that's coming in now. When you see a little rougher product early on, yeah, you're going to see that. But we see that every year, where it seems like teams that are really hitting it, like the Patriots would hit it. They'd hit it in week 4 and week 5, but like week 3, they might like get blown out by some obscure team, and we're like, that was the end of the dynasty. Who was it when they went to Kansas City and they won the Super Bowl that year? They got beat. They got beat like they stole something. So it might be week 5 or week 6 down before you see that. But you know, starters, preseason not for the starters, it's for the young guys. That's why you need a developmental league in the NFL, I think, more or less than just the preseason. You need 2 games of preseason, let these young cats duke it out in like an NFL Europe type, UFL type league, and see what you got there. Oh, there he is. What's up?
Man, you trying to get me fired.
I can't. Ooh, I'm trying to get you fired.
I'm at work. I can't be talking to these folks down. Don't mess around and have me on unemployment. Messing around with you at these folks down.
Hey, I know you ain't talking that ransom talk. You the one telling me you getting ready. You getting ready to get them stomping.
I'm getting ready to retire, but I will retire on my own for not because I got called into the office.
We can say this is like a telemed type thing that they're doing all over the country.
Man, I need somebody to block for me so these folks won't fire me.
He can get you a hog or a dirt bag down there. Man, what did you think? Because I know you've seen them. I know Skins has seen them too. Like them offensive lines in the 80s. Like I've seen videos, but what was it like living through that and watching them dogs?
Man, when you see them holes open up and you see them feet flying up in the air and people just getting pancake blocked, and people like Joe Jacoby and you know shoot boy it used to be the days, man. And you see we could run with a big back like Rigo, or we could have a smaller back like Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and it used to be beautiful. And until that day that Joe Theismann got his leg broke, then the Hogs weren't the Hogs to me. After that, sometimes it just take one little chink in your armor,
Yeah.
to ruin the whole thing. And that day, Lawrence Taylor came around that corner and broke Joe Theismann in half. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I mean, but that it was the Hogs versus Super Cocaine with LT. So I mean,
Yeah, but man, all right, you be sweet, baby girl. So I'm at work chilling. I might be big and swole, but I'm still can catch, boy.
you're right.
I got a mask on, running around here like I'm about to rob stagecoach. Boy, bomba clot.
Oh God, shoot, I haven't seen Showers in a while. Man, I
Yeah.
might have to pull that up again.
Okay.
Yeah.
It or like what's that to kill movie? License to Kill or something. Steven Seagal. Every man must dead. You sure turd. Running around here looking like Screwface.
Oh man, shoot! But they got on there. I didn't realize. Like I knew Bugel was crazy, like not bad crazy, but just good crazy. Because I was saying earlier, I got to watch him like when I was 13, 14. So like right in growing up, I got to grow up to watch him. And those offensive lines, like those patchwork jobs that he did, like when John Jansen got hurt, and then what was Randy Thomas tore his ACL, and they had to move in. Like we had like 07, they had like Fabini come up in there, and Pete Kendall. They had to trade for him, and I mean, it was guys that was at the end of their career, but they were still like they played decent. They weren't great, and then. The Redskins have a rich, and people don't realize they have a rich history at left tackle. You talk about Jacoby, you bring in Chris Samuels, which people don't give. They don't give him respect. Yeah, I love Chris Samuels, and then you had Trent Williams for all these years. I mean, dude, we've had some dogs at left tackle.
Who was 71 before Trent Williams? Was it
you talking about big fat Mike Williams?
No. There was another 71 before
Trent.
Was it Mann?
Charles Mann Charles Mann was 71.
Yeah. No, but he was on defense. That's the dude who was on defense.
Yeah.
No, there was somebody on offense that I keep. I'm getting old, man. I've been hitting the head 2 or 3 times. I can just remember, man. The heydays of the Hogs, right when them dudes started wearing dresses. That was hilarious, boy. And my dad used to say, I don't give a damn how big of a Redskins fan is. You ain't gonna find me no damn end zone with no hog nose at a dress on. That's some shit. Oh, I'm sorry, PG.
You fine. You all right. I already dropped hell on here, so you good. But they were pretty cool dudes though, and they've the hog farmers have taken over for the hog now. So and they do a lot of stuff with kids with cancer and stuff. So they've kind of taken over in that run. I've been in that hat more than 2 or 3 times.
boy.
That's Jay Martell. So what you think about the I was talking to Skins about this, and he said about changing the name and everything. I'm like, I'm to the point. I'm just like, whatever. I want to focus on playing ball and stuff. Like,
I mean,
people won't be ignorant to the point of just being like, oh, the Washington football team that plays in the National Football League and all this stuff.
In an era where people are waking up and realizing that, it's kind of hard to be a man of color,
Mm-hmm.
and say that you don't want to hear certain things, but then in the light manner,
Right.
I'm root for a team called the Redskins. Now, being a brother, we call people red bones, yellow bones,
Yeah.
And those are terms of endearment. I used to love me a good red bone woman, but I don't know, man. It's kind of up there. My thing is, I just want them to put the spear back on the helmet and give me that uniform back. That's what I want. If I don't have nothing else from the Washington Redskins in my life, please put the arrow back on the helmet and give me one of them throwback uniforms that I can be proud of. And that's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't even have to win another championship. That I've been in
Whoa,
this
whoa,
game. Listen to me. It is not mandatory. It's not mandatory. I've been a Redskin fan since 1970. So it's not mandatory for me to win another championship. I'm gonna always be a Redskin fan.
Okay, I got you in that. I got you in that respect, but I need to see one. I was born around the time of that last one, but I need to see.
You wasn't worried about that until Slitter said some shit. Said that mess. Dang, Slitter.
Who? Look, I done told you about cussing on this channel. Don't say this. Don't say cuss words on here, man.
Well, I'm just telling you that you were all right until you heard that joker say that foolishness.
Hey, no, dude, look, I ain't worried about it. I tell you this, I got some funny stuff I'll tell you off the channel though, about that whole thing, because I found out something, and he pissed off the missus. So you piss off the missus, I'ma hear about it. So
did she hit him? Did she hit him?
Oh shit! Gimme. You ask people about it. You go back in that chat. You ask them. But I got some comments here. Jay Martell. Let's see what he said. The Washington football team is what I'm going to be calling it nowadays, since it's so demeaning. I hear you. Marcus Prunell. Somebody been here since the beginning. What up, Big Sanchez 405? Admittedly, I've been opposed to the name change, but admittedly, I'm walking back my original position. I say we change the name back to something new. I hear you. Why
don't we just take our name back and just go back to the Washington Braves?
No, you can't do that in DC now, because national fans, and I have a problem with that. National fans hate the Braves.
But that was our original name.
Yeah, when we were in Boston. That's a Boston name. You leave that in Boston.
Once again, no. Now it's locked. Go to the other door. Open it up. There you go. Now come on through. No, you locked it again. Open it up. Now push. All right. Boy, we done spent all this money on getting these dang doctors education. They can't even walk through a dang door.
They're going to call you up. They're going to call you to the upper. You better not be on the company Wi-Fi.
I'm serious. Sitting up there talking about Sylvia in HR. Sylvia in HR line 2.
Mr. James, sir, you were participating in the shenanigans and hooligans on the company Wi-Fi. So,
and then I'm gonna just pull out all them documents, them psych documents, That'll set them up right there. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you dealing with the veteran of veterans.
Yeah, but like you said, man, being a person of color, being a man of color, we always say that, nobody can tell us how we feel about certain situations and everything like that. And how can we tell somebody, like I've started to see this myself, and it's kind of like what Marcus was saying. You kind of retread on your position. How can you tell somebody that something's not offensive in that regard? And we're supposed to be in this all together. So, and I guess to the point that if it offends one person, it probably, you're going to need to change. If it offends a group of people, if it's 10 people, there might be some smoke there. If it's 100 people, 1,000 people, it's probably some fire there. Probably about 10,000 people, you're gonna need to call the fire department. But they're not gonna change the name just because it's good, because it's the right thing to do. It's about affecting the wallet.
Yeah.
This is the only thing. This is the only thing Dan Snyder cared about. And like I told Skins, Bruce Allen would still be there if the seats were full at FedEx Field.
Well, thank God they're not.
Thank God, exactly.
Because I'm so glad that joke was gone.
Yep.
I could have done a better job than him, and I got short-term memory loss.
That's all right though. He got full-term memory loss.
That joke got Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
He ain't even got Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Winning cures all. Yeah, that's right. Winning does cure all.
I'm just wondering though, if we change the name, the logo ain't nothing but a brother anyway with a feather in his head.
It's George Washington in blackface.
No, it ain't. It's Tyrone Jenkins.
I got you.
You from Southeast Berry Farms.
Oh, I ain't messing with you, man.
That's Tyrone from Washington Heights, boy. You didn't know that?
Shoot, that's Tyrone. That's Tyrone Bigum.
Okay, shoot, boy. That joker right there has to be from Landover. And I ain't talking about the Landover that we go to now. I'm talking about the old school Landover where they were shooting and cutting and stuff. That Landover. Like over there near Bellhaven's apartments and all them. Boy, I hope ain't nobody listening. How you know about all that? You in Texas?
That's where he's from.
Told you that was home first.
Yeah,
that's home first.
If they did change the name, what would you come up with? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what they'd come up.
What Native American group is prevalent to that area?
You got Cherokee there. You got Aquia Indians down there where I'm from. Powhatan is right down there. I would just say it's simple and you can keep it. You can just change the arrow. You can keep the colors and everything. Just change it to the Warriors and be done with it.
Yeah.
Just it's simple. It's simple. It's it's not going to offend the PC crowd. It's something like that. I mean, I get to the point where, and I talk to a lot of my friends about this, and I try to stay away from politics on here because it's just like people. We do sports. We talk about sports to get away from politics and all this stuff. It's why I can't watch Shannon Sharp anymore. Do I like Shannon Sharp? Absolutely, but he's more of. I think he should be running for governor or something instead of talking about LeBron James the whole time.
But that's skill. That's skill.
Skill. Hot skill. I'm a NASCAR fan now, Skip. Like, just like
that's my boy.
That's my boy. Yeah.
I'm telling you, his brother was my favorite receiver to ever put on the cleats.
Yeah, you told me about that. You told me he was better than a coked up Michael Irvin.
That Joker was better. That Joker from those 7 years that he played. Look at his stats and compare him to Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
and that's all I got to say.
It's stupid how good and how underappreciated he was because he didn't play that long because he got hurt. But how about the Washington Red Tails? I mean, I'd be cool.
Yeah, that would. I don't know. I want to keep the. I still want to keep the Native American logo. I mean, because I love that logo. You know.
Yeah.
But I want that to be our secondary logo, and then the spear.
Yeah.
I just have this thing about a chant and have everybody with fear the spear signs all over. FedEx Field.
Ready, Red, since y'all were the hogs, gonna be the porks getting low. These Cowboy fans.
Oh boy, these jokers.
That's all. Hey, man, that's all right. Ready, Red, he cool in my book. He cool. Hey, even though I disagree with him on the fundamental association with his football team, I'm good. And plus, I don't want to have to go in to place it and change my logo again. I just finally got a nice logo, so I don't really want to change that. Being selfish, though. Yeah, bro, that logo is out with the name. I've always personally loved our logo. Yeah, I mean, it was developed by Native Americans.
I mean, they picked the logo.
Yeah,
you see that Joker dark as me.
Oh no, Chocolate City, Chocolate City, chocolate logo.
With that side view.
That ain't feathers back there. Those are locks, right?
Well, yeah, something like that. It's locks on feathers.
Oh man, but yeah, and moving from the name thing, because we gonna there. This is a big conversation, but they decided to change that preseason. They dropped it 2 games because of the virus and everything, pandemic going on. And I said before, I think it's 2 things that's a disadvantage for the Redskins in this situation this year, at least. Both of them are on the road. One of them you're gonna play against Jay Gruden. And one that affects your owner's bottom line. That's the first thing because he doesn't get a home. He doesn't get 2 of those home games. So I'm surprised they signed up for that. But nobody attends preseason games. I mean, it's about maybe 20,000 folks there. You'll see during a preseason game, and you got risk of injury. This is something the NFL should have done a long time ago and not hide behind a pandemic.
But you still need to see what you got as far as ouch. You got to still see what you got as far as players are concerned. And it's hard to judge what you have by just 1 or 2 games.
I guess if you're more of an established team, you know what you got. I think about that. You got to give Dwayne Haskins some reps, right?
Yes.
To work with his team. Actually, I just it always seems like I said before, the first 4 weeks of the season, you always see like the roughest football. Like the real good teams, they start showing out in week 4 and week 5. You talk about when everybody said New England was dead in the water, they get blown out by Kansas City or they lose to Cincinnati or something, or they beat up Cincinnati after that, and they hit their strides. It's all a gauging thing. So I see where you're coming from because you want to know what you got with these young guys, but this year you don't have a lot of undrafted free agents. You only got 4 undrafted free agents, and then you got your 7 cats or your 8 cats that you bought in there already.
But it's kind of like this. It's kind of like nowadays people don't get married to a person until they sleep with them. It ain't like in the old days where you just they want to kick the wheels and see how it squeals, and
that's why dealerships have test drives.
Right. And so those preseason games are very important to the bottom line because you mess around and keep a bust over somebody that's going to be a star. And not everybody practices good. Like my
Right.
boy AI said, practice. We ain't talking about a game. We talking about
practice.
Some people just don't shine in practice.
Right.
I was one of them guys, man. When I used to kickbox, I wasn't worth a dang until the lights came on. And then I was too embarrassed to get beat. So that's why I fought good.
Mm-hmm.
But no, man, training.
I mean, in that situation, that's I don't know, man. That I just maybe if you want to throw one of them games on at the end of to the season, but and they've extended those rosters too this year. Last year, what was it?
I didn't know. I had a patient.
You staying late today?
No, sir. I am just finishing the stuff and get up from here.
You know I'm at work, boy. I
I
can't
know.
Huh?
I'm talking to my brother. You know I can't. I'm at work.
There's a YouTuber named, I think he's talking about Fist Vega, trash talking the Redskins, said Dwayne Haskins is a bust. I mean, these people don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. Like, they talk about when he wasn't the center of the offense, when Jay Gruden throws him out there against the Giants with no preparation, or then when he has to go in and take up for Case Keenum, and then finally started learning the offense. And y'all look at the Buffalo game, they didn't give him any deep throws to throw. He was all doing dink and dunk. He was looking for guys out of the backfield. They didn't let him stretch the field. It was until the second half of the Jets game where he finally started clicking. He started getting it together. Overthrew some people in Detroit, but still won the game. Took a selfie too soon. That's all right. Then you go to Carolina. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for giving us Ron. You better thank Dwayne Haskins that we got Ron Rivera because he did enough to win that game. Holla if you hear me. Or, the Philadelphia Eagles, the division champs, were on the ropes with the Redskins. Come on now.
That's a fact.
If they had went for it on fourth down and short instead of playing small ball like Bill Callahan does, which got them fired at Oakland and Nebraska, they'd be okay. The Giants game, which we didn't want them to win because we wouldn't have got Chase Young anyway, I was right there. You know what? Before he got hurt, he only had like one incomplete pass. So I mean, and he didn't play against Dallas. So people like that need to sit down, shut up, have a Coke, and smile. It's what Eddie Murphy told Bill Cosby, and I'm telling y'all right now, it's the same thing. People like that, John, they just need to shut up, sit down. We got Redskin fans like that. I don't know about Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins is trash. He's garbage. What?
But see, you already know what that comes.
Oh, I know. It's a different shade of a conversation. I know.
Yeah, that already comes from a different beast. And, those would be the same people that said Doug Williams didn't do nothing.
He won a Super Bowl. That's all that matters.
Yeah, even though he split time all that season, there's a lot of people that said Doug Williams was an accomplished quarterback. Not looking back at his record at Tampa Bay, he was the first one to take Tampa Bay to a playoff game. And I think that was in their second or third year. And that was a expansion team.
Yep.
So a lot of these people that talk about quarterback play don't know what they're talking about, especially if they rooted for Case Keenum last year. Case Keenum is what we thought he was. Garbage.
I never forget where I was. I'll never forget two places where I'm at. What's up, Am Hunter? How you doing, bud? It's two places I never forget where I was. Three, really. The day Sean Taylor died, the day the Redskins traded for Donovan McNabb, and when they got Case Keenum. That's three places I'll never forget. Because one, Donovan McNabb, I thought that was the dumbest trade they could have done. They got this guy. Like, he was looking terrible at the end of the 09 season. What didn't y'all see that playoff game that we did not see against Dallas? We saw an old quarterback who then you decided to pay $50 million for, and then made the same mistake 8 years later with Alex Smith.
Completed.
And then and then this Case Keenum. I was in a bar in Pittsburgh. Were we in Pittsburgh? No, we weren't in Pittsburgh. We were in Wheeling, West Virginia. That's exactly where we were.
That's the same thing.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. don't do Pittsburgh like that. But I thought my buddy was joking because he's a Redskins fan too, and he said they just traded for. I said, you got to be MFing kidding me. This is BS at the finest. And like, I don't know. I knew we were set up for disaster. Like I said, you got 3 quarterbacks, you don't have any quarterbacks. And we didn't have one. And then Jay Gruden is Jay Gruden, I really think that whatever he smoked was laced with something, because the podcast that I was listening, I think it was with Sheehan, and they said he was comfortable with going into 2018 with Colt McCoy as his quarterback. What kind of crack rock are you smoking?
It must have been good.
Whew.
It had to be good.
It must have been. I've said this already on his podcast once. I live 2 hours near the Pittsburgh area. That's a good area. I like Western PA. But like I don't get that. Like, how, like, you know when somebody has it. And the fact that, like, if you ask me today, who would you start? Kirk Cousins, Colt McCoy. Well, no, I'm just saying that, like, before Dwayne had, it'd be Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be no Colt. It wouldn't be no Colt McCoy. I'd start Jason Campbell before him. Jason Campbell got a raw deal. I'd start. Here you go. I'll give you one. I'll start Todd Collins over Colt McCoy.
Oh, that's bad.
That's what I do. I was about to say, I'll start Jeff George over Colt McCoy.
Dang. Hey, I'm about to get off. I gotta go.
All right then, man. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, bro. Later.
All right. Talk to you later. We got Yimmy. Yimmy on here, Skins fan all day, on there talking. But yeah, y'all, going back to what you said, John, and you said you got a lot of respect. I got a lot of respect for Dwayne Haskins too, because he's putting in the craft right now. Y'all don't realize, like, the brother is putting in work. He's lost all that weight, right? And he's about, you can tell he's grown. And then I said this before, I talked to Yimmy about it. Tell me, no, he wasn't. No, Campbell wasn't. He got a raw deal. He had like 8 offensive coordinators in 8 years? Campbell got a raw deal. I'll say that. I love Jason Campbell. I loved watching him play. The only thing was he didn't have a coach that was worth a doggone. And when he actually had a coach that was worth a doggone, he got hurt. And that was when he had Al Saunders and they finally started clicking. Yeah, man, I'm just like, these people, you got to realize this stuff, man. Like, you got to look at it. Anybody that you think has, if you think Colt McCoy should be a starter in the NFL, it's you shouldn't be Doug Marrone should be fired just for hiring Jay Gruden, to think, if he's thinking that. Right or wrong? I'm just saying, y'all. But and I mentioned, I said something about Sean Taylor here earlier. I had an opportunity. Yeah, he did. He sure did at Auburn, under there with Tuberville. Right? Yeah, Tuberville was his head coach down there in Auburn. But I mentioned Sean Taylor, and I mentioned talking about him. I said never forget the place where he was, where I was when I found out that he got shot, and when he died as well. They did a podcast, NBC Sports. You got to go look it up. It's all wherever podcasts are available. Titled Sean Taylor, the NFL star we never got to know. Amir's taking on some other projects. We're gonna have him back on here, John. And I got a chance to listen to it, y'all. Excellent podcast. It's worth the 50 some odd minutes to listen to it and check it out. I got to listen to it on Saturday, and they talked to Landon Collins, they talked to Clinton Portis, Santana Moss, Jonathan Vilma. They talked to Larry Michael. I've never been a big Larry Michael fan. Never have. I think he's a pretty cool dude. I met him one time. I actually got to take a picture with him. He was cool in that regard. But, I just think that, is what it is. But he talked about, they are AM, honey. You're right. You're right about that in Jacksonville. But talking about that, the Sean Taylor thing, just some of my favorite stories. Larry Michael talking about, there's still a 21 sticker on the guard box at Redskins Park. And, people ask today, like players that come in here, and they will ask, what's the 21 about? What's the 21? Some of them know, some of them don't know. Because you got to think about it, this was 14 years ago. This would be, 15? No, I can't do my math. But yeah, it's been a while, y'all, to think about that. I think it's 13 years this year. Yeah, it'd be 13 years because we're in 2020 and it was 2007. To think about that, it's, these players not realizing who this guy was. Clinton Portis summed it up in one position. He was jealous of Sean Taylor coming in because he was a running back at Gulliver Prep. But he's like, he had to go in there. I think he talked to Larry Coker or somebody and said, yo, what's this guy coming in here? What's he gonna do? Why is he gonna take a job? Because McGahee and Porter's playing. He's like, nope, he's playing safety. And just what we talked about, he said once he saw him out there, he said, that's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Now I'm not talking about Shaft. Jonathan Vilma had a great story about him. The fact that they used to be roommates on the road and they were wrestling each other. Vilma would get the best of him, but he'd go back and talk to his dad about getting wrestling techniques and how to overcome them. And that was just a competitor in him. A lot of people didn't see Sean outside of in the limelight and everything, because he didn't want to be that guy, especially after the media tried to paint him as this bad guy. And, I talk about this all the time. You tell me somebody who's 21, 22 that has it all together. And if you say somebody, or if you say it's you're a liar. I will call you a liar until I see proof, because I don't know anybody. Most people I know either went to college when they were in college when they were 21, or they were still trying to they were in an entry-level job. Darren Woodson was my favorite Cowboy all time, but Sean Taylor's the best. Hey, respect. And that I saying with Darren Woodson, that dude, Darren Woodson was a beast for Dallas. My favorite quote unquote Cowboy is probably DeMarcus Ware, though. That was my guy. That I appreciated, not really favorite, but appreciated. I'm a U fan, and y'all had 3 of my boys on. That's right. Hey, look up here. If you can see right behind me, 3 of your boys are right there on that top pennant. That's the U squad. Right there, the U crew banner. That's got Portis, Santana, and Sean Taylor on there. So that's one of my I think I got that the preseason before he passed away. So I got him. I got him proudly represented on this back wall. But y'all, Sean Taylor, that man, he probably would have been better. We see some great safeties that can either cover or play the run. Sean Taylor could do both. And the biggest thing I always say about the Redskins is they're always trying to find the next Sean Taylor. Like that's what, I've come on here and I've told y'all this before. You ain't never gonna find somebody like that. You will never. Don't try to make Landon Collins into this. Let Landon Collins be Landon Collins. Let him be the best Landon Collins that he can be. Like, Dan Snyder gave him that jersey, and Landon Collins talked about that, giving him the signed Sean Taylor, which was a great gesture by Dan Snyder. But don't try to turn him into something that he isn't. Don't do that. Because that safety position hasn't been right since for Washington. We had LaRon Landry, and then he started shooting up and everything. And then you had OJ Hogway. You had Chris Harris. We thought that was a solid position. What's up, B-Niz? Yes, sir. I am back. And you back too, man. You back too. Yeah, man. I just talent. And that dude, just to love to see because that probably would have been the Redskins' next Hall of Fame. We talk about the all pros that the Redskins haven't had in the last decade. Sean Taylor would have been one of them. And I would take that to the bank. Just the opportunity to see that cat play one last time. I'll never forget when he got out of that Philadelphia game and then they lost to the Bucks right before that Buffalo game. And I hear you, man. I don't mess with Michael Wilbon. I don't mess with Michael Wilbon either. Because those cowards, they're going to sit on there. I never forget. We talking about the Sean Taylor podcast right now, B-Niz. And then we talked about Joe Bugel and the reduced preseason. And we talked on the possibility of a name change. So you put your thoughts in there, and I'll address them. Yeah, I don't mess with Wilbon. I don't mess with Colin Cowherd. Because the fact that they couldn't address it and find out that they were wrong because this cat didn't know Sean Taylor. It was a friend of his sister's who was working a party and saw an opportunity to get in there and try to rob somebody. And we realize, we sit there and you think about it. He went and flew home. Those guys could have broke in to that house. The man died a hero. And that's what Larry Michael highlighted too. He went in there with opportunity. He was home to protect his daughter and his girlfriend at the time. And they're here today because of him. Yeah, Colin Cowherd is a joke. I mean, I can't, him and Wilbon, they were talking about this stuff. Oh, if you be, if you're a thug, I don't know if they use the term thug, but if you hang out with the wrong crowd and blah, 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 you don't know anything about it. And like I said, it's the same thing with sports media. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but they always got something to say. They can never say when the Redskins are doing anything good, besides when they drafted Chase Young. But they never can say anything the Redskins are doing well or the Redskins are doing good. It's always, yeah, they're a joke and blah, blah, blah. Facts. I can't say, no, I can't. Peter King's obnoxious. Florio is the worst. He is a joke. Mike Florio's a joke. He is how obnoxious he is about the whole about the name change situation. He's always been a joke about that. And then he gets in his feelings when people call him out about it. Like, if you're in the media and everything, right? You're right. Ain't got no minority. He don't have. Doesn't even have any minority employees there. Black, white. See, I'm mixed, so I got Hispanic and black, so I got to worry about both of us. But no, you're right. He doesn't have it, and then he's got the nerve to put Chris Sims on there. That's another thing I want to talk about. Is Chris Sims and his stank rating. I talked about it last time, and before then, do you know who ranks above Dwayne Haskins now? Jarrett Stidham. How in the world? What in the world? How do you justify Jarrett Stidham? First, how you justify Mitchell Trubisky being over him, but how in the world do you justify Jarrett Stidham being over Dwayne Haskins? What? In what world does that make sense? That's where he lost me at. He's still bitter because we beat his butt in that playoff game, and he got his feelings hurt on that one. But whatever. Yeah. Florio, no, not in 15 years. Mike Florio. Don't get me triggered. Don't do that. Don't do that. B9ism. Don't do that. Don't get me triggered with Mike Florio. He's on my list of people that rub me the wrong way. But Sims and Dan are yeah. I will give Dan Orlovsky a little bit of credit. He has talked well about Dwayne Haskins. I will give. I know you don't care about that Red, but as a Redskins fan, I care about that a little bit more. But yeah, Dan Orlovsky. What's his awareness? Run out the back of the end zone when he was the quarterback for the Detroit Lions. Yeah, Taylor, Clark, Bostic, Jacoby should be in the Hall of Fame. What's up with that? Yeah, I agree with that one. I agree with Taylor being in there. But people talk about the potential that he had that he never achieved because he died. And then Gary Clark. I'm a Virginia boy. He's a Virginia boy. I like Gary Clark. I don't know if he would ever be a Hall of Famer, but Bostic and Jacob. The fact that the Hogs don't have more Hall of Famers is despicable. Outside of Russ Grimm, maybe if we change the name, then they'll be all right. Sims and Dan. Okay, I read that. Jarrett Stidham being better than it is a complete joke, and none can compare. Yeah. Oh no, you're absolutely right. It's a joke. Yeah, I mean that's stupid. Don't come at me when I listened to him with JP Finley and those guys interviewed him, asked him about the rating and stuff in the ranking. And I think this was before he released the rest of the guys on there. And he made good point. He made some good points. Like I will give Chris Sims that. He made good points. But points don't mean nothing on don't mean nothing on the overall thing. It's the same thing. And Red, you were there last night too. It's like when we have conversations about the Redskins versus the Falcons. Sample size over the whole picture, right? Sample size over the whole picture. Like you focus on a sample size. Points are sample sizes. And the whole picture, the whole body of work. His ranking is the masterpiece, right? So you kill your good points with that. James Mack, that's right. Go Dukes. Go Dukes. Gary Clark. The only one. Nah, I can't deal with Max Kellerman. You lost me on Max Kellerman. I don't. I'm not a big Kellerman fan either. Stephen A is I have a love-hate relationship with Stephen A. Smith. That's what that's the best thing I can say about him. I'd rather deal with Skip Bayless, to be honest with you, than Max Kellerman. And all he knows how to talk about is Dallas Cowboys and why LeBron James is terrible. He does nothing else. But I'd rather deal with him than Kellerman any day of the week. Yeah. With Sims, pretty much. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. But yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think about all this. Like, yeah, I talked about the reduced preseason. Talked about this Sean Taylor podcast and the Joe B. Y'all, I just thought about this now to talk about, because we're in this age, Jack Del Rio. And I'll bring this up. And to paraphrase a famous Fox News anchor who said, "Shut up and dribble the ball." Jack, shut up and coach football and coach the game. That's all you got to do. Get the heck off of Twitter. Don't do it. Just shut up. Shut up. Don't tweet. Leave it alone. And people might argue, that's his right. That's his personal right. It's his right, yeah, but it's also the right of your employer to fire you if you're talking some ignorant stuff or what people deem to be ignorant. Either way, I don't care about his politics. I really don't, because that's not, like I said, that's not why I watch the game. I don't watch the game for politics. I watch the game to be entertained and to support my team. Like, that's what I do. And I got to get educated on stuff. But I don't leave that crap out. Leave the crap out. If his politics align with mine, I wouldn't want to hear it. Jack, just coach the game. You got so much potential. On this team. Do not alienate your players before you even have a chance to get on the field with them. You hear me? Like, don't do that. Jamel Hill is the only game. Yeah, she all right. Jamel all right. I like Jamel. Yep, stick to the X's and O's. Right, that's right, AM, honey. Like, I don't come here to see what you super sorry about that. I don't come on there. I don't come to know what Ron Rivera thinks about the economy. If I want to learn about people who talking about the economy, I'll turn on the news. You know what? No, I don't trust the news, so I read. I'll go and read stuff. I'll go to 3 sources and read them. I'll educate myself in that respect. Because everything's skewed and everything's got an agenda. We know that. I got in a conversation with people before. You can go to 3 different places and they cover the same thing. You can talk about grandma's lemonade stand on the corner of Johnson and Martin Luther King, and they will cover it 3 different ways. And you'd be like, how can you cover a lemonade stand open in 3 different ways? I don't know how, but they can put 3 different spins on it. But what do I know? Yeah, so Jack, stick to football, man. Just stick to football. That's the reason why you were out for 3 years. Is the fact that don't make sure y'all speak to each other on here. And like I said, if you want to come on, chit chat for a little bit, I'll probably be on here for another hour or so, maybe another 45 minutes. Don't come on. You got to show your face, but if you want to talk, tell me what you think about the Skins. And, this is something also I want to address with you, too, because B9 Nizzle, he kind of brought it up in one of the comments one time. And I appreciate the comment that he made, because I didn't realize I was doing this and it's a positive thing. Y'all come here. I specify in the Redskins. That's where my focus is. Now, while I cover the NFL when necessary, yes. but it's how it affects our team. How it affects Burgundy and Gold. Like when the Redskins play the Cowboys, I'm gonna be talking about the Cowboys too. But like people talking about, we think about. I was at lunch with my coworkers, and they were asking, "We think about Cam Newton going to the Patriots." That has no effect on me. That has no effect on the Redskins. The Patriots aren't even a blip on the Redskins' radar this year. And yes, some people say, "Well, the Redskins they pay on the you know what I mean." They so I'm gonna talk about the Skins and stuff that goes on in the NFL that are prevalent to the team or the overall arching of that. Somebody trying to call me right now, but they can buzz off. So that's what I just want to be clear on that. You're not going to get videos of me covering stuff about what the Cleveland Browns are doing in Week 16. I don't. That ain't me, y'all. So I'll just let you know. Big Simple up in the chat. We lit. That's right, bro. Too late. Del Rio told on himself. Yeah, you're right. Del Rio done told on himself, but I think that's that's always been Del Rio. No, don't change the logo. Only brown face in sport. Okay. Big time. I hear that. Yeah, but like I said, anytime y'all want to come on, drop the link is in the description. I'll be on here for a little bit longer. And just tell me what your thoughts are on everything. I did get a chance to listen to Ron Rivera. He was talking to Chicago radio, and they were talking about a couple of things. They talked about Cam Newton. That's why I kind of brought that up. These people forget that the Redskins have Dwayne Haskins. And the one thing I love about Ron Rivera is his message is always consistent. He said the same thing from day one to right now. So from January 1st to July 2nd, he has stayed on course. Now, if you were dealing with the previous regime, which I hate to bring up old habits, and because it's bad, I'll slap myself on the hand anyway. But Jay Gruden would have diverted 3-4 different times already. Bill Callahan would have done the same thing as well in his little 6, 7, 8 week span as an interim head coach. So he was on 670 The Score. I think it's the same folks that own 106.7 The Fan in DC. But anyway, McNeil and Parkins. And, they were talking about what the NFL is going to do about testing this year for the virus. Still working on best practices there. He mentioned something about Cam Newton. And they asked him, why didn't he bring in Cam Newton? He's like, you've got a young quarterback there, right? And they liked him. They liked what they saw out of him when he was in Carolina. So now he has an opportunity with his staff to develop this cat. So they saw something there, and maybe he's saying that for lip service, but I'll take him on his word that they actually liked what they saw out of him. And you don't want to stunt his growth, because if you bring in a veteran right on time, that's going to stunt his growth, because people are going to be saying like, "Oh, why isn't the veteran start? Why isn't Cam starting?" He even talked about the minority coaches, saying that there's a lot of minority coaches that need to be given an opportunity, which is absolutely true. Eric Bieniemy, he comes to mind. There's a lot of guys out there that need to have their opportunities. They're doing something. Oh man, what's up, man?
What up, big homie?
How you doing?
Man, I figured I'd finally call on in.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
How you living?
Hey man, living large.
That's what's up. Hopefully you and the family doing good during these tough times.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah, we wonderful over here, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
this is the nizzle right here.
Yes, sir.
You know, finally put a face to the words.
That's right. I appreciate it whenever. I appreciate everything you say in the comments. I appreciate it. And I'm not just saying because you on camera, because I tell you in the comments as well.
Hey,
But I
good.
personally appreciate your support, man. I do.
Hey, man, I love to see you positive people doing positive things, and you know it's the right form for me, so I'm gonna support you 110%, my brother.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Hey, and if I ever say something, keep me in check. If I say something sideways, keep me in check. I tell everybody that if you hear something like whoa, Sanchez, you need to back up a little bit. I got in trouble with Joe Theismann last year. One of my old dogs, they were like, hold on, man. You being a little disrespectful. You need to scale back a little bit. So I'm like, I hear you.
Well, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, saying,
I
Charles.
appreciate it.
It's a brand new day, man. You know all that disrespecting the past and all this. As we find out in our education and our history, we realize that the past has been disrespecting us.
Yep.
So, as I told you in your great Bobby Mitchell tribute, Wayne, that was the best video that you've ever made and that has ever been made about the Redskins on YouTube.
Appreciate it.
Because not only did it give credit to the Redskins for finally giving credit to Bobby Mitchell and finally getting rid of that George Preston statue, it ushered in for me a new day. That if an organization as historically racist as the Redskins can get it, everybody can get it.
Right.
There's no more excuses. There's no more a need to apologize for anything, because like I said, as we find out the truth, we find out that we're owed apologies. We don't have to give them.
I hear you. Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons that I called in, because I wanted to tell you firsthand the experience that I had with Mike Florio.
Okay.
I'm watching my man's show, because you know I'm a big football supporter, and he's fake woke, so he kind of had me fooled for a second, talking all this and that about Kaepernick and this and that or whatever. And you know how I go, so I let the man know straight up. Well, I would love to see Kaepernick in the league. I would love to see more black head coaches. I'd love to see more black GMs. But let's cut straight to this chase. This is a capitalist society we live in, and capitalism would speak. So let's get an NFL owner. I'm like, we got 2 NFL teams and only 31 owners. You let a city own Green Bay before you let a black man own the Green Bay Packers.
That's right.
Or make an expansion team for them. I don't care how, but to have all of these black that we have a Oprah Winfrey can't come together and buy an expansion team.
Yeah. You kind of cutting out there, man. I heard a little bit. I heard Oprah and all these cats.
Blacks don't have it.
I think he froze on me. Let me see here. Hey, B Nizzle, try to come back in, because it's like you cutting out. You froze on me. Try to come back in and try to come back out, because it's like.
Yeah, I'm coming back in.
Okay, I can hear you better now. Oh yeah, come back in there. But no, he making good points. Y'all. It's like you said, it's a new day, and I mean the Redskins. To be honest with you, the Redskins are like an American story. To be honest with you, that they say it took so long for progress with this team to get to have a black player on the team. How long did it take us to get a president of color? You think about this stuff. People don't realize that. Hey, man. You there? I think I can hear you a little bit better now.
Is that better now?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's better.
All right. All right. Cool. Where did I break off at? I don't want to.
You said when you said something about the you said about buying an expansion team or something. That's where you kind of cut out at.
Yeah, I was basically telling stories. That black millionaire boy system.
Mm-hmm.
To play their game, which I found shocking.
Okay. Yeah, let's see here. You still kind of froze. I don't know what's going on. Let me see here. Can you hear me? Hey, B Nizzle, I have no idea what's going on here with you. I don't know if it's just me or is it your connection or whatever, but try one more time. I hate to do this, or put what you were trying to tell me in the comments, because it's like the connection is awful right now. But I'm gonna put you here in the weight room, because he did freeze up on me. But no, I appreciate B Nizzle coming on here, man. That I mean, great insight. To that respect, I would love to get the rest of what he was saying there. Yeah, it has made the world go. I like to see the Spirit logo. I hear you. I'll be fine with the R logo. I hear you. That's good. I think there's a multiple ways, multiple places of the solution. Yeah. Hey, man, despite the connection, I appreciate you coming on here, man. I really do. Thank you for giving me your insight. I appreciate that. It's awesome. I love putting names with faces, because it's people like y'all who are helping me broaden my channel. I really do. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all the love and support. Y'all, that's one thing I hope y'all never get sick of me saying, because I'm going to be repetitive on it. I don't care, because one person doesn't make a channel. A blowhard can do that or think that. I don't. It's everybody. It's people like B Nizzle, like you guys in here now that are doing AM Hunter, Splittery just coming up in here, Big Simple, like I said, Skins fan all day. It's people like that making these connections that have made it and have helped me out. Like these guys have come in here and helped me out, and I appreciate it. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, but there needs to be opportunities there in ownership and in coaching and GM, because you have minds like this. You have these minds that do it at a high level, and Bobby Mitchell was one of these guys that got passed over twice for it. One thing I do give the credit to Cleveland, because they seem like they're starting to get that. Maybe they might need to get that in the head coaching room and everything. Our offensive coordinators, is there an offensive coordinator of color in the NFL? I mean, you see a lot of more on defense. My point was college coaches wouldn't be cutting up if there was black NFL. I hear you. I hear you too. I agree with you too, Jay. I agree with you too. I hear you. Yeah, they wouldn't be. Yeah, but that's like I said, that's a multi-layer subject, and I appreciate the. And now the NFL, I just got this off the wire that the NFL is planning to showcase "Lift Every Voice and Sing" before the Star Spangled Banner ahead of all Week 1 games. I love the song. I mean, good for the NFL there. It's coming up. I'm not to that point yet. You got to have like 1,000 AM Hunter. You got to have 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 767, and you got to have like 4,000. You got to have like 4,000 watch time hours. I'm about halfway there. I think to get monetized and then to do like channel membership. I don't know. I'm saying this right now, as a guy who's not monetized or anything like that. But I don't know. I never really got into this to do it for the money. Would that be a good incentive? Yeah, but I like talking. I like talking about the skins and everything like that. I mean, I could probably put like the PayPal or the Cash App in there if people wanted to donate to the channel, but I wouldn't mention it. That's just me. Mike Flurrell's ignorant. Mike Flurrell's ignorant. Hey, I appreciate you splitting, Riz. Thank you. That's Major Sanchez. That is the Black National Anthem. That is a major announcement considering the fact that yes. No, I like it. I do. Don't think I just don't think I don't like it, Mark. I love the song. And I love what it means. And I play it sometimes. Just it's on my playlist on my iPhone. So, the NFL's doing some things. I think they're doing some things right. Now, you gonna get hate for it? Yeah, absolutely. That's with everything. You're gonna get hate, but the people who are willing to step out and be uncomfortable in a situation, history usually looks at them a little bit more favorable. And then the people, they also use those people's names to throw it in the face of people who are doing it. It's just, I think it's a good move by the National Football League. Good job. I honestly, if I could sing, Marcus, I would sing it, but I'm not gonna sing it. I can't sing "Lift Every Voice." I can't sing anything. I can't sing "Hail to the Redskins." I'm not gonna desecrate the Black National Anthem by singing it. But good on the NFL. They have made some major strides. I think that the next step that they need to do is apologize and make sure, they need to apologize. Whether you agree with me or not, they need to apologize to Kaepernick and move on from it. Apologize to them. Help this guy get a job. Now, if he says to hell with it, that's on him. But they need to make this. They need to make it right. You can say that you were wrong. I say I'm wrong all the time. I tell my fiance all the time that I'm wrong, just to stop an argument. It's because I don't want to hear her yell at me anymore. But anyway, I'll pay for that later. But just say you were wrong. Not saying. And then the second part is, what was I wrong about? And what is the third thing? I worked in call centers for 5 years. You know what the worst thing in the world to say to somebody is? I apologize. I apologize for that. I am sorry that your package did not get there on time. Not I'm sorry about that. You tell them what you are remorseful for. Like, you don't sit there. You don't, like, this is psychology 101. Look, I'll tell you a book I'm reading just for the heck of it. If I can find it. It's in my work bag. Critical Conversations. I'm going to send this to Roger Goodell. Right here. I'm going to send this book to him. Because you're going to have that critical conversation. Learn how to apologize. Learn to have the tough conversations. I mean, you at the end of the day, you got to tell what you're apologizing for. We know you did wrong. We know you did wrong. We know you did wrong. It could be the fact that you said, hey, you blackballed the guy. Say you blackballed him. Now, I don't know what's in that settlement that they reached, but that's what you did. I mean, you might as well just go on and say it, unless you legally can't. But what's your point? You've let this drag on, and it goes back to what I told y'all earlier. You bring politics into it. Fun fact, 13-year-old black girl from Baltimore made the first American friend. Grace Wisher, not Betsy Ross. See, that's more stuff we need to know. That's more stuff we need to know. Yeah, man, I'm just tell me about it. Like, that's simple. It's like if you got kids or something. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Marcus. Absolutely. Shout out to Marcus. I always say that, but shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you as well. I don't think I said that in the one I just said a few minutes ago, but thank you for being here. You've been here for me on year 4. I know that for a fact. So yeah, year 4, because you were like one of the first like 20, 30 people that subscribed to the channel. So shout out to Marcus. And yeah. Oh, yeah. They gagged them in this settlement. I mean, anybody can see that. Do I get excited? Like, when they started announcing all this stuff, did I get excited? Like, I wasn't excited, but there was a sense of satisfaction and relief when all this stuff started happening. And, I think the Redskins, and you go back to talking about it, like I said, yeah, come on, let's pull it back into the Redskins. The Redskins were trendsetters for this. Don't be fooled. They were trendsetters for this year. Ron Rivera, go back and look at the press conference that he had over Zoom when they finally got back in the Redskins park. He addressed it with the team. He addressed everything that was going on, from the murder of George Floyd to all this other stuff that's going on in this world. He took the time and got the organization together. And he admitted, he said, I don't understand it. And he didn't mince words. The first thing I think about, and another thing about Ron Rivera is, he said, I've got a prepared statement I'm going to read. He didn't read that prepared statement like it was something like, hey, these are my words. I know how to get these words together. To me, that's a man telling me, I don't know what to say. And he's like, I don't know how to look at it, but I've looked at it from different angles. I talked to military folks. I've talked to black folks. I've talked to I've talked to clergy. Jennifer King, who is the intern on the Redskins, the first black female intern, coaching intern, who was a former cop, who worked at an Ivy League school last year. I wish I could have ran into her when I was up at Dartmouth last summer. But, that's true. Dan Snyder told me to go up to Dartmouth last year and talk to Jennifer King. I'm kidding. But he went from so many angles. so many angles to get there. This is not a simple issue. The overall goal of it is a simple issue, but there are multiple layers that we need to understand about this. Trump wouldn't support the flag if he knew. Yeah, bigly. You're right. But the fact that he had the wherewithal to do that, and then Dwayne Haskins. I don't ever want to hear somebody, unless he does something stupid, I don't want to ever hear anybody talk about his maturity level ever again. As far as it comes from a developmental standpoint, he needs to mature as a quarterback. But mentally up here, the man is intelligent. I'm not going to disrespect and call him a kid. The man is intelligent. Go read that article he wrote with Redskins.com. Huh? Instead of in an age of social media, he had the wherewithal to understand what's going on in this world, and I want to understand it a little bit better. I'm not going to tweet. I'm not going to put out picture. I'm not going to put a blackout picture. I'm not going to share, retweet a whole bunch of stuff. I am going to be in the moment. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk to our Mr. Black and our personal player development guy. I'm going to talk to Doug Williams and see what we can do to go out there and do it. He didn't hide behind Twitter. He didn't hide behind social media. So when I see people like 1067, the you know what, and Chris Russell's of the world go after this guy because they got their feelings hurt because he blocked them on Twitter. Look, it's America. You can do whatever you want to. That's why we got the block button. But the fact that he goes out, that he was a man about it and said, I'm going to go out here and experience what's going on. Shut up. Don't talk about his maturity like that ever again. Because he just showed me three different things. He showed maturity. He showed leadership, and he showed his character right there. It wasn't no stunt. That's not a stunt. And I'm going to love to see it when this brother is able to succeed. When he's put in a position to succeed, y'all, it's going to be great. And we're going to be sitting here. We're going to be happy. It's going to be like me. It's like me burning my ribeyes up. It's going to be like, oh, this is medium rare. Tastes good. No steak sauce needed. But, y'all, I think the Redskins are in the right direction. Haskins' parents, yeah, they are. Yep, you right about that. Thanks, Freshman. What's up, Damien? What's up, man? How you doing? Damien, the residential Chicago Bears fan. But you know that I mean, we can sit here and y'all don't forget. I am still in the middle of the Who Is series, previewing the coaching staff. Got one last group, and I think I'm gonna do a bonus video about Jennifer King, the coaching intern, because she's a coach on the staff, and talk a little bit more about her. Chris Harris and the defensive back staff that includes Richard Rodgers Sr. and his connection with Ron Rivera, and then Brett Vasselmeyer, who's a Jack Del Rio hire. Yeah, so those guys were on there, and I think I missed the special teams assistant coach, so that's working with cancer, so I'll probably touch base on him too in the Jennifer King video at the end. There wasn't a lot to say, but these have been fun to do and understand where the staff is coming from. And it was so surreal. I go back to talking about Joe Bugel, and I think it was either the tight ends coach Honer or might have been John Matsko. No, I think it was Pete Honer who worked under Bugel in Phoenix when he was a head coach, first time head coach in with the Cardinals. Do one on the GM? Okay. I have to do that. I'll do one on the general manager. I didn't think about that. Do one on Kyle Smith. I got you. Haskins will have a hell of a year. 3,500 plus 28 touchdowns, 66% completion mark. Okay. 10, 12 interceptions, 200 plus rushing, 3 touchdowns. He still learns. Yeah, I think so. We don't need him to be great just yet. He can be a good quarterback, and this team look world of difference. I think he was a rookie last year, and he showed us. He showed us sprinkles. I mean, it was it was like it was a donut pretty much. He showed us a little bit of sprinkles every time, and got better. More sprinkles got added to that donut. And I'm gonna make you hungry here in a second. This year, right? He's gonna add that frosting to it. Gonna make that donut a whole lot better. Dude, I tell you what about my investigative report and scout. I appreciate it. Funny story, has nothing to do with football, but I had a friend from college, and she was talking. She was dating somebody, and I told her, and it wasn't on her social media or anything like that. So it gave me first name and their profession and a state. Do you know I found out who that person was in probably an hour, 45 minutes? I'm telling you, I ain't trying to brag on myself, but I could find some. I probably could find Atlantis if you gave me some scuba gear and tell me where the last place it sunk at. I'm joking, but not about the first part, the Atlanta part, Atlantis part. What GM y'all don't have one? Just like y'all don't have a quarterback, Damien. Don't come on here. DB, this one got me. He got me. Shoot. What y'all got? What y'all got over there? What's up, man? How you doing? 1,000 subs with no video challenge. How you doing? Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Damien know better than that. He know come on here and talk that food. He think just because he beat us one time in the last my God. Since 2001, it was the first time they beat us. 03. I'm sorry, Damien. Since 2003. But y'all do have the better overall record against us. I will give you that. Either way, though. Either way. At least the Bears have time. Go ahead, split scissors. Oh man. Oh God, you got cooked. You got cooked there. Man. Damien, don't do this. Don't do. I told you this before. I'll try to protect you, bro, but I can't when you start talking that foolishness. Nick Foles had one good game of his career. Yeah, one good game. He ain't done nothing. Tell me something else Nick Foles had won. He won a Super Bowl. Yeah. We can go to Chicago and get a catch and tight end or something, though. But I don't know. Like, the tight end room, do they need help there? Yes. But I think at the end of the day, with the tight end room, you got a great coach in Pete Honer, who helped Greg Olsen reach new levels. He was in his late 20s before Greg Olsen's really, like, people been watching football. We knew Greg Olsen in Chicago. Like, he was good. The tight end coming out of Miami. We got drafted in the late first round. We knew who he was and how good he was. Pete Honer helped him go to elite level, from good to elite. until he got hurt those last couple of years. He can still do this with Logan Thomas, who's 29. Hale Hinches, who I keep on forgetting about, is on this team. Maybe he can turn Jeremy Sprinkle into something functional. Maybe he can help them with that once they get on the field together, once they get working with each other. I trust the competencies of these coaches. I really do. I think we have established a very veteran and mentally aware coaching staff. Yeah, I just threw a whole bunch of big words up in there for no reason. Anyway, you got Ron Rivera at the top, and then his lieutenants. You got your coordinators, Jack Del Rio, proven. Scott Turner, young, up and coming, from a system where his dad had great offenses in Dallas and had good defenses in San Diego. And then, he went to Minnesota for a couple of years. Y'all forget, I told you this before, Josh Gordon had his best year under Norvin Scott. And then, Carolina, Cam Newton had his best season as a pure quarterback as far as completion percentage goes with Norv Turner and under Scott Turner as his quarterback's coach. So Scott, I've got hope in there. Randy Jordan was a dual threat running back in the NFL. We got a lot of dual threat running backs on this team. He's going to help these guys get to the next level. Hostler, the wide receivers coach, he's worked with some good. He's got a little question marks. Yeah, Ken Zampese, I think he can work with quarterbacks. Wasn't a great offensive coordinator, but some people are just career position coaches. Matsko, great offensive line mind. So on offense and defense, I think they're putting it together too. Sam, I think the most underappreciated coach on the staff is Sam Mills III. Smash Mouth Football lives in D.C. That's right. You're right. What was it? The Hogs, 2 tight ends with Donnie Warren and Doc Walker. They were part of the Hogs. They were blocking. I like Sprinkle. I think we cut Peyton Barber. Yeah, I don't think Peyton Barber is going to be here too long. But I think that was more of a hire because they like what they've seen in Barber being in Tampa Bay for those years and then playing against them 2 times a year. So you like what you see. You still got Richard Rodgers on there as a tight end, but I think that was more of a favor to his dad. So him and his son could be on the same team together in the NFL. But I mean, it's exciting, y'all, to see what's going to happen this season. I'm excited. There are some faculties and some things that they're going to have to take on some undertakings to get us ready for the season. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be all right. I think we cut KMC. Yeah, I had to read that again. Split. And I thought you said Steven Sims. I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, oh, Cam Sims. Yeah. I think Cam Sims' days are numbered. And I've said this before too. We got a good situation in Washington. We've got a lot of players on here that are going to battle it out, that are going to try to go for competition. They're building competition. That's exactly what it is. Something that the Redskins, you could tell with the Redskins, this time last year, you knew about 70 to 80% of the roster that was going to be on there. This year, maybe 60, 55% of the roster is going to be on there. You look at the linebacker. You look at the linebacking room. There's some good linebackers on here that won't be on this team come this year. GM would be better off with Dan Snyder as the GM, like the Cowboys as Jerry Jones. Y'all have, oh Lord. Yep. Ready, Red, I'll let you handle that one on the Jerry Jones thing. I'm not even give Damon. I'm not giving him the time of day right now. What's up, Franklin Walker? Amen. Everyone on our defense, like, yeah, everybody can start. You think about these guys, especially like your first five, like your first five linemen that you got down there. Really, your first six. So you talk about Chase, Montez, you've got John Allen, you've got Ioannidis, and then you add in Ryan Kerrigan. You got Deron Payne there, and then you've got Tim Settle, Big Tim Settle. That's right there. That's seven. That's 7 defensive linemen. That's 7 of them. So, like, I mean, what you gonna do? Like, they say they like what they saw in Caleb Brantley. Is he gonna make the team? Brailford from last year. Yeah, Frank, I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one. I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one. Snyder is better than having the Queen of England. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, and the Bears. Yeah, it's more. It's not the Bears. DA Bears were the better Bears. These Bears are DUH, the Bears. And B Nizzle anyway. To that effect, it's just Aaron Rodgers and a bunch of overpaid scrubs. That's all it is in that division. Yeah, man. Hey man, we had some fun today. We had a lot of folks come on here. We had 3 folks come on. B Niz just came on here, put a name to a face there. Also, Yemi was on here, Skins fan all day. Check all those guys out. If they got channels, make sure you subscribe to them. I appreciate, bro. We ain't got jokes. We telling you the truth. We telling you the truth, fam. Defense. Let's see here. Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Matt Ioannidis, Montez Sweat, Reuben Foster, Kerrigan, Fuller, Moreau, Landon, Sean Davis. Yeah, I think Sean Davis is going to be. Somebody asked who they thought was going to be the free safety. I think Sean Davis is going to be that free safety. Reuben Foster might make he's got to get cleared. They still haven't cleared him, but there's a neat video about him in the stem cell procedure that he had out here on YouTube. It's somewhere, but it was a good story to watch. About 5-minute video. I don't think Kerrigan, we're going to see him at the outside linebacker in the 34, in the 43 this year. I think you're probably going to see maybe Thomas Davis, maybe Sean Dion Hamilton. I think you're going to see more Kerrigan in a backup defensive end role, which that was his position in college. He had never played stand-up until he got to the NFL. So he's been misused for almost 10 seasons. And he's had a lot of years wasted because of that. Let's see here. Kirk Cousins was a little was trash for us. This man had more interceptions starting 5 games than starting the 15 games for. Yeah, doesn't really matter what the settlement was because Trump is still big true. I think I met Dubs when I was in Oakland for a Skins game. Do you think? Do you know how he became? No, I'm not sure. I think he had I think he got Eagles fans, Cowboy fans in his family, and he decided to go on the right path and become a Redskins fan. Dubs, good. Go check out Dubs' family. Kirk, no primetime cousins, and laughing. Why is everyone saying Daniel fumbles better than Haskin? He went to Duke. I don't know why they're saying he had them 2 good games where he beat Tampa Bay and us. That's about it. That's why they're saying that. Oh, Danny Don'ts. But hey, yeah, it's them Giants fans. You know, they got the, you know, with them stuffy New York accents and everything. Oh, come on, Ready Red. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm about to wrap it up here. I appreciate y'all coming through. Had a good conversation. Appreciate everybody coming into the chat, talking, leaving your comments. You know, I'm hopefully I'll be back on next week, but I've got live next week. But I will be putting up that video here in the next couple of days. I got my research done. I just got to put it into video form. Bad Dog Sports is giving me a headache. I watched him the other day. I watched him on a video. I appreciated his opinions on some things. Cousins is a bum, a still upgrade for the bad. Yeah, that's true. Rotate Hamilton, Anderson, Cole Holcomb, and Foster and Key and David. Okay, all right. AM Hunter. Oh, yeah, one more thing before I let y'all go. Before I go, Ryan Anderson. Hopefully we find a spot for him. This is the kind of dude you want on your team. The comments he made about, you know, what if he can't see his kids or something like that at the end of the day, was he really doing it right? That's the Alabama in him, y'all. That's the Alabama Crimson Tide up in him. I hope he's not that reckless, but you want that type of attitude just to lay it out there on the field. So kudos to that brother, and you know, I'll be rooting for him. I hope they find a spot for him. Yeah, don't trade him. Do not trade Ryan Anderson. Maybe he can lose a little bit of weight and be an outside linebacker for us, or you know, I don't really know if he can put his hand in the dirt and be effective. You know, and I think right now we're discounting injuries on the team as well too. We haven't had that. I think. Was it Emmanuel Hall got hurt towards Achilles? Yeah, so that was you know, that's tragic, but I didn't think he was gonna make the team anyway. We got 3 number 1 wide receivers for the division. Y'all in trouble. Who y'all got besides CeeDee Lamb? Oh, you got Amari. And what's his name? Gallup or whatever. You got him too. Yeah, we in trouble. We just gotta get 3 better corners. That's all. If he can somehow get better in coverage, then he can be our middle linebacker. If Reuben Foster's in, I hear you. Yeah. Lamb is a bust. I hear y'all. Hey, but anyway, I gotta get going. I got some other stuff I gotta take care of. But I appreciate y'all coming by, stopping by. I love it. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for the support. Thank y'all for commenting, making this conversation a whole lot better. Like I said, it takes more than one person to make a channel go. And because of y'all, the conversation kept on going. So I appreciate you. And you know, hail to the Redskins. I love you here. I'm Sanchez 405. How do I say here on the channel all the time? Love, peace, and hail. I'll be talking to you real soon, folks. I am out.